close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go through the wasteland.
You got like 3 chemtrailers like right there. They're gonna move. Ugh, look at that nastiness for real. Ugh.
Chemtrails are a term for stratospheric aerosol injections, otherwise known as geoengineering. These white lines that are stretched across the beautiful blue sky have long been mistaken as simple contrails, which are water vapor left behind from airplanes, but they are clearly different. For instance, when observing a contrail, one will notice that the white line disappears or fades away after a couple of minutes, but chemtrails have a much more different effect. When observing a chemtrail, one will see that not only does the white line remain in the sky for hours on end, but the color of the sky will actually change to a milky hazy color, or bizarre nasty looking clouds will form right where that beautiful blue sky used to be. Geoengineering and weather manipulation is nothing new, but has been around for over 150 years. Weather modification has been something that the United States and many other governments have been working on for years, including Project Storm Fury, which is a US project that focused on controlling the storm paths of hurricanes. Since geoengineering and weather modification goes back so far, it is clear what the agenda is for weather manipulation. Weather modification dates at least back to the 1830s, when the proposals of American meteorologist James Pollard Espy to stimulate rain by controlled forest burning led to him becoming feted as the Storm King. More recently, the US Project Storm Fury sought for 2 decades to modify the paths of hurricanes through seeding them with silver iodide. The Royal Society, Geoengineering the Climate. HAARP, or High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, has been known for its testing with geoengineering. Geoengineering is the alteration or manipulation of the weather. HAARP was a facility that used ionospheric heaters to change the weather. Although we are told that HAARP shut down years ago, there are many more facilities just like this all over the world. For instance, there's the Sura Ionospheric Heating Facility in Russia, the High Power Auroral Stimulation Observatory, or HIPAS in Fairbanks, Alaska, the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico, and ISCAT, which operates many facilities across the world stemming from Sweden. David Icke once said, "We now know that the ability to relocate weather systems with electromagnetic weapons and skies seeded with conductive aerosols is the key to the creation of artificial global warming." Global warming is a lie created specifically by the Club of Rome. The propaganda portrayed by the mainstream media about global warming is that the population must pay carbon taxes to Al Gore, as if they would use that money to prevent the Earth from rapidly heating. HAARP controlling the weather is a powerful weapon that can be and will be utilized by the powers ruling our world. By controlling weather, governments can cause fake natural disasters and have massive impacts on agriculture and growing food by changing the climate. Using false disasters would be a great way to open FEMA camps and begin full-phased New World Order with everyone enslaved. Some declassified documents from the US government detail injecting nanofibers and mechanized dust into the air. These nanofibers are being sprayed into the air and are found in chemtrail samples. Biometric Application Programming Interfaces, or BioAPIs, are sprayed onto people through nanobots, released through chemtrails, making it easier to manipulate and control the minds of humans. One of the most sinister and difficult to fathom conspiracy theories I've ever come across posits that nanobots are being sprayed on us all to install BioAPIs, Biometric Application Programming Interfaces, which basically allow for the mental and emotional remote control of humanity. These nanofibers, which have already been found in several chemtrail samples and linked to Morgellons disease, work by attaching themselves to neurons or synapses and self-replicating until they have artificially encapsulated and rewired your brain. Eric Dubé, Atlanteanconspiracy.com. There have been declassified government documents proving the existence of chemtrails, yet it is still considered a crazy conspiracy theory. Yes, of course. I'm crazy for reading into government documents talking about injecting the air with poison. One document released by NASA in 2001 speaks of spraying small dust into the air, which is inhaled into the lungs. This is described as a new use of weaponry, which is totally legal. It says that this form of advanced warfare will take place at around 2025, but could it be happening before then? This form of weaponry could be being used right now by the military or secret projects. This document was released in 2001, and it's been over 15 years. This plan to use warfare by emitting chemicals into the air through spraying has been underway for a long time, and I do not doubt that this not only has been developed, but it is most likely what is being sprayed in chemtrails. Microdust weaponry, a mechanical analog to micron-sized mechanized dust, which is distributed as an aerosol and inhaled into the lungs. Dust mechanically bores into lung tissue and executes various pathological missions. A wholly new class of weaponry, which is legal. Dennis M. Bushnell, a NASA employee, Future Strategic Issues, Future Warfare, circa 2025. Chemtrails are indeed real, and geoengineering has been taking place for years and is an ongoing reality. Chemtrails are just a small fraction of what is being done to the populations of the world. Whether or not we are being sprayed for mind control or weather modification, we do know that the skies above our heads are being sprayed with chemicals.
Just a question, do you know what is a chemtrail?
The what?
A chemtrail.
I do know what a chemtrail is.
Yeah, and is it true?
Well, there's a big debate.
No, but do you believe it? I don't know.
Well, I don't have enough information for that.
Okay. Yeah, but because I saw a lot of videos on the internet, and it really looks believable.
Well, it's arguable both ways, I think.
Yeah?
Depends on which side you're on, but...
Yeah. But what is your personal opinion of it?
I think there's part of truth.
Part of truth, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should investigate this, because when it's true, imagine so many people, they suffer of this. Okay.
Yeah, it's a necessary evil, as you could say.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Have a good day, sir.
You too. Thank you.
Aircraft making a condensation trail is very similar in many ways to when you go outside on a cold day and exhale. You create a condensation trail. That little cloud is a condensation trail. Now, if you take a 2-mile walk on a cold day and you can turn around and you can see your condensation trail tracking all the way back for 2 miles. That's how crazy it is to think that what we're looking in the sky is actually condensation trails.
The contrails, not the chemical, the contrails occur because of cold air, minus 30. It takes high altitude, around 30,000 feet plus. There's carbon dioxide and water vapor in that exhaust. That turns to ice crystals, and that's what you see, the white stream behind it. Those white crystals of ice warm up, dissolve, and the smoke goes away. And it never lasts more than a minute. What we're seeing now, and I first could not believe it, and I started looking at the skies, and these are not normal. They're not natural. There's something going on. I don't know who it is or why they're doing it. All I can testify is it's not natural and it's not normal. It's got to be some outside influence doing that. Thank you.
I'm here to give you testimony that chemtrails, they're not contrails, are indeed real. They're spraying almost every day. I watch the clouds and watch the spraying program going on. want to tell you that we're in very great danger from the pollution that's coming down over us. And we've been led astray by the military-industrial complex, and they're responsible for the cloud's creation and weather manipulation programs. They're dark operations. That's why they're not out in the media.
I look around and I see people are starting to look up and see this. Many times I've spoken about chemtrails, and I get this blank look on my face. What are you talking about? I'm saying, look up. As a pilot, before I fly, I look up. And so, boy, they're really out there working.
When you look up at the sun and you see a white haze, that is aluminum floating in the air right now, and it's coming from the aircraft.
There's a huge amount of aluminum being found because these sprays have aluminum, strontium, barium, manganese, and there's a lot of argument that aluminum is very common to be found, but aluminum is only common in a bonded form. It's not common in a free form, and we're finding high rates of free aluminum in the soil, which is not natural.
The metal compounds that are being used are environmentally dangerous. We need to be monitoring them. We need to be testing them.
Okay, these previous guys, I watched exactly what they do, and yes, they are correct. I've seen exactly the same stuff, so ditto marks on those. You want some figures? Okay, latest water test, tested the rain. 13,100 micrograms per liter of aluminum in the rain in 2013. Normally, it should be 0. So 13,100 is pretty damn much, folks. It used to be 0, then it was 100s in the 2000s, and then since 2010, it's into the 1000s and the latest 13,100. In the snow on Mount Shasta, pristine Mount Shasta, 61,000 micrograms per liter, 4 times the amount that is found in the soil up there. Where in the hell is this stuff coming from if it's not coming from the soil?
We have clouds in the sky we've never seen before. Almost every day I'm seeing clouds I've never seen before. And NASA has been even named a few of these new clouds. It's really interesting, but NASA is a corporation. I want you to know that.
NASA has also conducted a research program in what they call metallized fuels. We're actually putting aluminum oxide right in the fuel because it has 2 atoms of aluminum and 3 atoms of oxygen. So during the combustion process, it releases all that oxygen and dramatically increases efficiency, but it leaves the aluminum in the air.
If you can't hear what I'm saying, I couldn't even hear myself. This is the loudest sound you could possibly conceive, and as it turns out, the cleanest.